One fun fact, that window that I'm trying to break, it's unbreakable. So it never broke.
That's how strong you are.
Yeah, so imagine... No. But imagine shooting that scene for a couple hours, and I was just like, So what you see, that was the real... Like, I was really making the effort. That was real. Hello.
How you doing, Daniela?
I'm great. And you guys?
We're doing so great. We're so excited to be talking with you. We are such huge fans of yours. And
thank you.
There's so many things that we could talk about. I know we're going to keep it to the Roadhouse today, but how has the last few days been? You guys got to premiere this at South by Southwest. You got to have a great reaction from the audience there. What's it been like for you guys going through this the last few days?
It's been amazing, especially because when I had my first international big movie, The Suicide Squad, coming out, it happened during the pandemic. So I felt that I didn't have the opportunity to have like this type of experience, like a press tour and everything, and be able to meet the fans at the moment that the movie is being released, So this has been amazing. And to be able to watch the movie in the same room as most of the cast, and to watch also the reaction of the audience, it was so much fun.
That's exactly what we were thinking when we were coming into this. I'm like, yeah, when The Suicide Squad came out, which is a film that we absolutely adore.
We love it.
You are so incredible in that film.
Thank you.
We were like, yeah, like that came out in a time where we were all at home, and now we get to celebrate and have a film like this come out at a festival. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's special. Yeah.
Obviously, the first Roadhouse film, it's such an iconic movie. Mm. What was it that most excited you about working with Doug Liman to kind of reintroduce this vision to the world?
Just the act of braveness to do his take on it. It's admirable. And for me, I've always been a fan of his work, and it's been like a dream. Most of my career now, I wouldn't believe if somebody would tell me a few years ago that I would be working with directors like James Gunn, like Doug Liman. I wouldn't believe. And it's been amazing. He's so talented, and he has such a particular way of telling stories and making action movies. I couldn't be prouder. More that's proud. Amazing. Sorry for my English.
Yeah, no, but both. Oh my gosh, no, both works.
Both okay.
No, that's great.
Nice to be learning with you guys.
Okay. And I think that's what was so interesting when you got that first trailer. Like, wow, like this looks really cool, and Jake Gyllenhaal is so ripped and buff in this film. And you two have a really fun first meeting in the movie. Do you remember what it was like when you met Jake for the first time?
I did. So the first contact that we had was via Zoom. I was still shooting Fast X in London, and we had this Zoom just to meet him. I already knew Doug and Joel Silver, the producer, and we had a Zoom before where I read a few scenes, because the character wasn't supposed to be from Portugal at all. Maybe it would be a little bit older. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be the obvious choice. But after that Zoom with the director and the producer, they were like, okay, yeah, this is it. But then it was like, hold on, just let's put Jake on the mix just to see how it goes. And it was amazing. And now it's not a secret anymore. But it was the first time that I felt starstruck by anyone, really. I don't know how or why, because I've been working with gigantic names as well. And I've been feeling... By the way, I just noticed your T-shirt. Amazing, Portugal. Oh, yeah. So nice. And I never had those feelings of like being starstruck, being nervous. And with him, I don't know why, as soon as I opened the Zoom link, my face muscles started, like I was smiling and I was feeling like my cheeks doing this, and I was like, what's happening? But it was something like on the day before, I watched a video that he did with Vanity Fair, breaking down his career. So I never read the like news or gossip about actors in general, but that video was the video that made me think like I'm very curious to meet this artist, you know, and this actor. So one thing is to work with people, but keeping the distance on not reading about them, not searching about them. Because I saw that video, I was intrigued. So then when I talked with him for the first time, I had that in the back of my mind of like, okay, this actor is interesting. I want to get to know more.
Yeah, and you two have such a wonderful chemistry, and the scenes you have together in this film, especially, like, how could you not, fall in love with one another in a location like that with the beautiful beach and the weather, and it's just so natural on screen with both of you. It's really nice.
Yeah, nice to hear that, because at the same time, the storyline, at least for both of us, it doesn't go in an obvious way, you know, and it doesn't have an obvious ending, so it's easy to feel. That in Portuguese we say that it tastes like not enough, but at the same time there's space for a sequel. I've been hearing about it, so maybe it was nice that it ended that way for Ellie and Dalton.
Like you said, you get to shoot in this beautiful, luscious, Dominican Republic. You're constantly out in the water by the boat.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? What were those days being on a boat like?
It was amazing. I've been calling it a workation because whenever we weren't shooting, we were just like by the beach all together. We were in different hotels, but on the same street and in the same area. So whenever we weren't shooting, we would meet up at the same beach. During weekends or at Friday night, we would go all to the same liquor store that had like music and everything. And I mean, the sense of community that you can see in Roadhouse, in that city, that everyone knows everyone, we had that during the shooting with the crew, production, the cast, and everyone. It was amazing. Yeah,
that's so nice. And I think that's something that really shined in the movie for us. Or like, it feels like these people all know each other, especially with the different music acts coming in. Like, you would get why people would want to go hang out there for the music. And
you feel that on both sides. Even with the villains in this movie, there's like this weird camaraderie that all of you have. Like all the bad guys and the good guys all feel like friends and family. It's so fun.
Because they grew up together, all those little bad minions of Brand, they're bad guys and they're like outsiders, I would say, but at the same time they all grew up together, so we already know and see through each other.
We wanted to ask you, you have this great scene in the film on the boat when the water's starting to pour in. It feels very Titanic, or like you're trapped in there. Mm-hmm. What was it like shooting that sequence? Because it was a really fun sequence to watch.
It was interesting because that wasn't on an actual boat. That was on a water tank, but we'd had everything, but instead of a boat in the outside, it was like this gigantic water tank or swimming pool full of water. One fun fact, that window that I'm trying to break, it's unbreakable. So it never broke.
That's how strong you are.
Yeah, so imagine... No. But imagine shooting that scene for a couple hours, and I was just like, So what you see... That was the real, I was really making the effort. That was real. Because that never broke.
You're saying that Jake could not have broken that window, only you could have.
Not even me. I think that what happens in the movie, it's something by itself breaks or something. Because whenever, so the guy that shows up with a gun, it's Steve Brown, our fight coordinator. And whenever he shows up and we both look at him, the glass breaks by itself. So neither of us is strong enough to break it. But the fun fact, I was trying to break it for a couple of hours, but that material simply wouldn't. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Daniela, thank you so much for your time. You're so wonderful. We cannot wait to see what you get to work on next. And I really hope we get to talk to you again.
Thank you. Me too.